I have always known that Master W.D. Farad is Allah. I believe that Master W.D. Farad is Allah, and I believe that you are his messenger. I believe that your program is right, and I believe that your teachings are right, and that it was my belief in this that made me as successful as I was. Especially it was my firm belief in this that enabled me to stand up in the face of all opposition on television, on radio, before colleges, and before people out in the street at mass rallies, and support your program and present your program and represent your program. It was my faith in it that enabled me to represent it.
God chose the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to occupy the position of messenger, leader, and teacher for 20 million black people here in America before America was ever discovered, before you and I were ever brought here. It was written that the Lamb, that this little meek and humble man would be raised up from the so-called Negro in this day and time. Do you understand that? I heard the Honorable Elijah Muhammad say that when Master Farad was teaching, he used to listen to him. He listened to him real careful. And he noticed that whenever Master Farad was teaching, he'd be carried away. And he wasn't talking about what someone was going to come and do to the devil, but he noticed that this man was talking about what he was going to do. He didn't talk like he was looking for some help, but he talked independent. He talked like one who needed no help. He never talked like someone told him so and so, but he talked like what he knew. He was independent. He listened carefully, and he began to think back all of what he had read in the Bible about this one who was supposed to come in the last day, and about what this one would do when he come in the last day. And he said that he believed every word that fell from the lips of Master Farad. He said he never heard a word that Master Farad uttered that he didn't believe. And because he believed him, he listened to him with an open heart, with an open mind, and with open ears. Because he listened with an open heart, an open mind, and open ears, he learned what others could not. He heard what the others couldn't hear. He saw what the others couldn't see. He understood what the others couldn't understand. He looked and saw Master Farad as he was. He knew who he was. He began to teach the others there in Detroit to call him prophet. They were calling him prophet because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, this man is fulfilling all prophecy. And then as he listened some more, he began to teach them to call him the Savior, because he sure is saving us from the condition that we were in. He's saving us from the clutches of our enemies. He told them that this man is the finder of the lost sheep, and he's given life to the lost sheep. They begin to refer to Master Farad as the finder and the life giver, the Redeemer. Those wherein you and I had once been taught and thought that the Redeemer was someone that was born 2,000 years ago. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad listened to the teachings of Master Farad, he could see that the so-called Negroes, the lost sheep, needed redeeming from your and my enemy. And they could see that the teachings that was coming from the lips, the mouth of Master Farad was giving us life, was redeeming us from the clutches of this devil. He recognized him as the Messiah. He knew that it was written that a Messiah would come in the last day, and that the Messiah was someone who would travel all over the world seeking to save that which was lost. That the Messiah was one who was to come in the last day seeking the lost sheep, seeking the lost tribes who would be found in the house of Israel. He wouldn't be seeking to find the lost tribes of the house of Israel. You got it wrong. But he would be seeking to find the lost tribes who would be in the house of Israel. America is the house of Israel. This is the house of Israel. And you and I are the sheep that have been lost in the house of Israel. Do you understand? Those old Jews, those old blue-eyed things, those aren't no lost sheep. Those things have never been lost. They got all your money. They're your landlord. They're your boss. Right or wrong? You got a Jew who is the spokesman for the president. You got a Jew who's senators in the United States Senate. Barry Goldwater is a Jew. What is his name? Rivercroft is a Jew. Dillon, the Secretary of Treasury, is a Jew. Yeah, he is. His old father was a Polish Jew. He changed his name to Dillon so you wouldn't know him. But our eyes are open. We see him. We know him. No, you can't say no Jew is lost. He got all your money. He got his money and your money too. How you going to say he's lost? The Jew knows his language. He knows his own name. He knows his own flag. He knows his own people. No, you're the one that's lost. You don't know yourself. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad knew that the Messiah was the one who was to come in the last day. And he knew that Master Farad, the one who was teaching then, was fulfilling everything about which it had been written about the Messiah. That when it said it had been written that this Messiah would search the earth. He would come from the east and appear in the west. He would leave heaven and make his abode in hell. He would leave the place of peace and security and make his place and take his place in the house of bondage in the midst of his people. He would reveal himself in the house of bondage in the midst of his people. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad began to teach our people in Detroit that this is the Messiah. This is the Christ who was to come. This is the one who was to come and has come. This is the one about whom the Bible refers to as the second coming of Christ. He says that Christ only means a destroyer. The word Christ. And it's true, you can look in the dictionary and it will tell you that in other languages, Christ means a destroyer. This title is given to the one who's to come in the last day because when he finds his people in the clutches of their enemies, he's supposed to save them. He's supposed to separate them from the enemy and then destroy the enemy. So they call him the Christ. He's referred to in the Bible also as the destroyer of the Gentiles. Well, anybody who's been to school knows that a Gentile is a white man. Nothing but an old blue-eyed white man. I know some of y'all thought y'all was Gentiles too, but y'all thought you was white. But a Gentile is a white man. You and I are neither Jews nor Gentiles. A Gentile is no good and a Jew is neither. You say, there you go, talking that old heat talk. No, the Bible says, the Bible says there's not a good Jew and there's not a good Gentile. Let me read it to you. Yeah, it says, there's no difference between the Jew and the Greek. Is this what I want? Yeah, no, I'm in the wrong. But there's no difference between the Jew and the Greek. They're all the same. In the 3rd chapter of the Romans, it says, for we have before proved both Jews and Gentiles. All are under sin. As it is written, there is none good. There is none righteous. No, not one. Pick up on that. I'm glad you told me where that was. There's none of them no good. And over here in another place it says, in one of these Corinthians, in the 1st Corinthians and the 10th chapter it says, but I say, this is Paul talking. Now you know all y'all talking about what Paul said. Listen, let me read you what Paul said. But I say, the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils. Pick up on that. And not to God. And I would not that you have fellowship with devils. Look what he said. He said a Gentile is a devil. A Gentile ain't nothing but a devil. And he said you're not supposed to fellowship with no devil. You're not supposed to integrate with no devil. If you can't fellowship with him, you're not supposed to integrate with him. Right or wrong? That hurts your heart, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, that hurts. I remember a brother come to the mosque in New York one day. He just had got to the city from the cotton patch. And he had been dreaming all his life about when he got up north, he gonna get him a job or steal some money and get him a Cadillac and a white woman. That was his dream. And you know how that dream is because you dreamed it. And when he got off the train, it happened he ran into a Muslim brother. He was just looking around at the tall buildings, going crazy. And the brother caught him while he was looking up. And brought him to the mosque. And that brother had spent his whole lifetime thinking about the day when he just got to New York City and could get him a white woman. And when he sat there and listened to that teaching, he was shook up. He was torn. All his plans were just, took a lifetime to lay those plans. In 1 minute to tear them up. This is true. He's a Muslim brother today. He changed his plan. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad changed his plan. So this is what's supposed to happen in the last day when the Christ comes. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad recognized that the one who was teaching was fulfilling what it was said about the Messiah, fulfilling what it was said about the Christ, and also what it says in Muslim theology about the Mahdi. Mahdi means one who is self-guided, don't need no advice, don't need no guidance. He's self-guided. He's so wise, he guides himself. That's God. Can't nobody guide himself but God. So the Mahdi is a title of God when he'll come in the last day. The Messiah is a title for God when he comes in the last day. The Christ is a title for God when he comes in the last day. But when he comes, how will he come? That's what Jesus' disciples asked. How will he come? And Jesus answered and says, as lightning comes from the east and shines unto the west, so shall the coming of what? The Son of Man be. Think up on it now. So shall the coming of the Son of a Man. Not the son of a spirit. Not the spirit of a spirit. Not the founder of a spirit. Spirit is not even mentioned. But this one, this God, is one who in the last day will be born and will come in the flesh. He'll be the Son of a Man. He's referred to as the Son of Man. But he'll be born in the east. He'll leave the east and come to the west. But he'll be God in person. He'll be Allah in person. I know that's hard to take. Oh, yeah, that's hard to take. I hear you. You say, what you mean, man? You seeing that God is born? You said Jesus was born. If Jesus can be born, can't God be born? You said Jesus was God. That's what you said. It says here in the Bible, in the 9th chapter of Isaiah, for unto us a child is born. Unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. His name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God. Pick up on that now. That's in the 9th chapter of Isaiah. And in the 6th verse, it says that, for unto us a child is born, a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. He's going to establish a new government, a new kingdom, a new world. This is what he's born for. He'll be born at the end of the wicked world for the purpose of establishing a righteous world. In fact, he will be born to destroy the world and create a new world. And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. That's beautiful, isn't it? And of the increase of his government and peace, there shall be no more, and there shall be no end. Now, you know, this couldn't have been Jesus. It said when he set up his government, there won't be no end to it. Jesus didn't get a chance to set up no government. They hung him on the cross. In fact, they nailed him to the cross. And he cried out, Lord, if there's any way I can get out of this, don't let it happen to me. Isn't that what he did? Yes, that's what he did. They say that Jesus got so scared, the book said that the sweat come off his brow. Didn't they call the sweat blood? Yeah, he was sweating, brother. You know, you sweating when you sweat blood. You sweating when you sweat sweat. This man sweat blood. So he will be born at the end of this man's world. Be born at the end of the wicked kingdom. And he'll set up his own kingdom. A righteous kingdom. A kingdom in which he himself will be king. He himself will be the prince of princes. He'll make all his people princes. And he'll be the prince of those princes. He'll make all those who follow him kings. And he'll be the king of kings. He'll make all those who follow him lords. And he'll be the Lord of lords. He'll make all those who follow him gods. But he'll be the God of gods. Is that right or wrong? All praise is due to Allah. How will he do it? The book says when he comes and chooses one from the midst of these people, he will give that one a thorough knowledge of himself. He'll walk and talk with that one. He'll teach that one the secret of the Godhead. This is how it says. It says when he comes, he'll come as lightning from the east and shine unto the west. He'll creep in as lightning does under the cover of darkness. He'll come and go so fast you won't know he's been there until he's gone. Right or wrong? You don't see no lightning. You saw lightning. Before you know what it is, it was. Same way with God in the last day. Before the people know he's here, he'll be gone. It says, behold, he'll come without observation. And he also says he'll come as a thief. He won't be a thief, but he'll come as a thief. Why he'll come as a thief? Because his people have been stolen by thieves. And his people are in the clutches of a den of thieves. His people are in a house that has been established upon thievery. Right or wrong? His people will be stolen from the east and will be found in the west. Therefore, as lightning from the east shines unto the west, God in the last day, if he wants to save his people, will have to leave the east and come into the west. And since his people have been stolen by the thieves of the west, in order for God to come into their midst and free his people from the clutches of these thieves, he has to make himself look like a thief. He has to take upon himself the appearance of one of the thieves. He can't come looking like his people. He can't come looking like his children. He can't come looking like one of the brothers. He has to come looking like the thief. So it says, behold, he cometh as a thief. He'll come as a thief, but he won't be a thief. But in order to come without observation, in order to come so he won't be observed and known by the thieves, he has to come as a thief. You all understand that? No, you